Good
I'm
afternoon.
Delika. Hi, I'm Delika and I'll be your MC for today. Thank you for your participating in this event. Before we start our meeting, um, will be good if we have a pray. I will pray in Catholic. In the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Good afternoon, God. Today we are gathering here in this online meeting to do a speech. May God bless our meeting from now till the end of the meeting. May God also bless all of the participants who attend the meeting, Coach Mike and Ma'am Erna. Give us help during this pandemic and may God give the world peace and all of safe. Thank you, God, for everything that you have given to us. Amen. In the name of the Father and of the Son and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Okay, guys. Today we have Ma'am Erna and Mike Nicholson as our coach. Maybe Ma'am Erna will say something to us.
Okay. What do I have for today? Yes, okay. I would like to say that hello everyone. Welcome to the 5th speech event. This is the 5th time. Yeah, thanks for joining and delivering a speech at this meeting. I can say that we are learning how to do public speaking right now. Yeah, because we talk in front of the audiences, so I can say that we are learning about public speaking. Yeah, we learn to improve how to manage ourselves so we can do a speech in front of the audiences. A lot of techniques, but you can choose the suitable technique for you, and you do your own characters because I think everyone is a unique person, and then you have to be confident with your speeches. Think that you want that your voices to be listened to by the world. If you can see unexpected voices, so you will understand your words can entertain other people, also motivate them to be the right who they are. And I would like to say that talk about nobody's situation, a lot of cases in the world, and the hottest political issues, or maybe like we have a disaster everywhere, and then war, of course, and also the newest even MotoGP in Mandalika, Lombok. Yeah, when I see the news, I feel happy. If the racers like Indonesia, I want that they will spend many days there, enjoy the view, also our culture, and the most important is they will spend their money there to buy anything there. And then I hope that will help people who live in Mandalika, Lombok, rising their economy, because I know we have beautiful places to visit also in Pangkal Pinang. Tourism sectors can be explored more than now. And then one culture from Indonesia is friendly. Yeah, especially with people that we call bule. Yeah, so I think that they're so friendly when I see so many news on the TV or maybe YouTube. Well, okay. Well, everyone, I don't want to spend your time here because I know it that tomorrow you have to, yeah, you have your exam, and then I would like you to share your ideas here, enjoy this session, always try to be a good people, and then always promote Indonesia around the world. And today we have Coach Mike as the evaluator. Yeah, I call that Coach Matt also bule, right? We'll give you suggestion, also opinion, so you can improve it again and again while you are in university later. Yeah, because this is, like I told you before, that this is not the end of your perform. Maybe this is the first step for you. So try to be what, improve and practice every day, or maybe day by day. Maybe you have any time you can practice it. So I hope also Coach Mike, you can enjoy their performance this evening. Okay.
I
You did.
always do. The message I have for all of you is today is a great day. Have fun. Tomorrow is another day. If you have fun today, you will start tomorrow refreshed, and you will do much better in your examinations than even you could think possible. So just relax, it will happen. I'm sure you've all been diligent students and learned a lot. So public speaking, why are you doing this? We are not trying to turn you into public speakers. The reason for using public speaking, it's a tool. And what it does is develops two things. One, your self-confidence, being able to stand up in front of a group of people and be convinced about what you're going to talk about, and be secure in what you're going to talk about, relax in what you're going to talk about. So self-confidence is very important. And it's important when you go for an interview, university interview, internship interview, job interview, yeah, any time you have a interaction with other people, if you can convince them of what you want to pass on to them, what information you want to share with them, yeah, you're being effective. The second thing that you learn by doing this activity is to polish your English. The majority of you have fantastic English already, but use it or lose it. So you need to keep this skill alive. Yeah, you need to practice your English. Don't just graduate and forget English. Because in 20 years, if you haven't spoken, it will be embarrassing to start again. It will be difficult. But if you keep it going, it's just more fun. So enjoy the speeches tonight. I know I will. Looking down the wide array of topics, there's something here for everybody. So listen to other people speaking. Being public speakers, you need to listen very carefully. Yeah, we need to listen first, assimilate, analyze what we hear, and then we can speak in response. Yeah, so public speaking is a listening activity, not just public speaking. So listen to the speeches you hear today. Look for good points, yeah, things that you can copy. We all like to copy. It's an easy way. That's how human beings learn. We mimic what we see from our siblings, our parents, our neighbors, yeah, our colleagues at school. So look for good points. And if you see some things that you think could be improved, make a note. Try not to incorporate them in your speeches, and help other people. Yeah, feedback is something that is worth its weight in gold. We should not feel ashamed giving genuine feedback to our friends, because we need feedback. Yeah, I mean, that is really, really important in life. If you live in isolation, it doesn't work. We're designed as human beings to interact with other people. And giving feedback is really one of those important parts. So let us get on with the show. So back to you, Dalika. Let's move it.
Okay, thank you, Coach Mike and Memana for your speech. There was an amazing speech from you guys, and now let's start our first participant. But before we start, I will remind you guys, please be aware with the sign. Green mean 2 minutes, yellow mean 4 minutes, and red mean 5 minutes. Now, guys, let's give our first chance to our participant today. We have
Christian Andrew.
We have Christian Andrew from Saint Joseph High School. He will bring the topic about Amor Fati. Time is yours, Mr. Christian.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am Christian Andrew. In this wonderful evening, I want to talk a little bit about happiness. It can't be denied that we often experience many unpleasant occurrences in our lives. For a teenager like us, it is something related to love, friendship, or small silly things like bad weather and homework that normally can ruin our mood for the rest of the day. Happiness is included as the most meaningful positive emotion and is usually linked as our motivation to do things. People often act passively to find a true happiness. In my personal experience, I find a simple way to live a more joyful and peaceful life. I'm still learning to do it though. But in this occasion, I just want to share this method to all of you. So this method is called Stoicism. Just a brief history for this. Stoicism is a branch of ancient Greek philosophy more than 2000 years ago. And it had been there before Christianity or Islam. It was founded by a merchant called Zeno from Cyprus. When he was on the way on his journey on the Mediterranean, his ship sank. And surprisingly, he survived, which led him to Athens. In Athens, he met some important person. One of them was Crates, a cynic philosopher, until he became a teacher of his own philosophical view at a terrace, which was called Stoicism. And Stoicism believes that the key of true happiness is when a person reaches his or her own inner peace. And the peace should come from within ourselves, not external sources. Happiness is called apatheia in Greek, which means we are released from our lust and negative emotion. Everything can give us happiness, even the worst, if we can control the way we react to the situation or event. However, everything which can't be controlled by ourselves won't. This is called as dichotomy of control. So basically, every negative emotion is based on our perspective of that particular case. For instance, if we see a Karen turns on her right blinker on their motorcycle and instead they actually turn left, this is very common in Indonesia, we would probably feel annoyed and it might ruin our day. But we can do the dichotomy of control. We know that we can't control a current of culture behavior. Then why should us be mad at it? Stoicism teaches us to follow the law of nature instead of going against it, because every moment in our life has been paved and we just need to follow wherever the wind blows. But this doesn't mean that we can become a slob person. Yet, indeed, we should work hard in every moment of life. For example, again, if you join a competition or have a test, you can work hard in parts that you can't entirely control, like preparing and studying well. However, we should remember that we can't control the result of the competition or test or the thought of the judges. This is the time when Stoicism works. You can't force your desire. That example is when you should act as a mature person and love your fate. As a 19th century German philosopher, I quote from Friedrich Nietzsche, amor fati, or love your fate. That is the true key of happiness, I do believe. Last, I hope this brief speech could give a clear short introduction to Stoicism. Good evening and thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Christian for your speech. Amor fati is a human expression, love for life that God has given to all of us, ignition from Adam and Eve. And your speech time is 3 minutes and 32 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Randy Martin from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is Two Best Friends. Time is yours, Mr. Randy.
Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Today I will give a speech, Two Best Friend, a story tell that two friends we are walking through the desert. During some point of the journey, they had an argument and one friend slapped the other one in the face. The one who got slapped was hurt, but without saying anything. What in the sand today, my best friend slapped me in the face. They kept on walking until they found an oasis where they decided to take a bath. The one who had been slapped got stuck in the mirror and started drowning. But the friend saved him after he recovered from the near drowning. He wrote on a stone, "Today my best friend saved my life." The friend who had slept and saved his best friend asked him, "After I heard you, you wrote in the sand and now you write on a stone. Why?" The other friend replied, "When someone hurt you, we should write it down in sand where wine of forgiveness can erase it away. But when someone does something good for, we must engrave it in stone where no one can ever erase it." Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Randy for your speech. Two best friends must have a problem and they have to find a way how to solve it so that their relationship doesn't fall apart. And your speech time is 1 minute and 55 seconds. Let's move to our next participant. We have Mr. Wilson Japrilius. And the title,
Delika, I don't know, maybe Coach Mike wants to say something.
Okay, your time, Coach Mike.
I think again, to save time, we'll do the evaluations combined at the end.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
because
as
I think
usual.
there's a lot of like we did last week. There's a lot of repetition from speaker to speaker, so we can combine it all in one go at the end. That will be more efficient. Thank you, though.
Okay, thank you, Coach Mike. And now let's move to our next participant. We have Mr. Wilson Japrilius from St. Joseph Senior High School. And he will bring the topic about the importance of eating healthy food. Time is yours, Mr. Wilson.
Good evening, ma'am and friend. First, let's together say thanks and grateful to the God who has given thousands of blessings so that we can meet in a good health in this Zoom meeting. On these occasions, I will give a short speech about the importance of eating healthy food. Health in the body is very important, and of course, everyone also wants to have healthy body in a good condition as always. There are several ways to maintain a healthy body. We can also train our body to have the shape of the muscle that we wanted, such as exercise, go to gyms, regular diet, and of course, eating healthy food. Healthy food also helps our health from within the body, such as eating fruits, vegetables, foods that have large amount of proteins is also important to help our health in excellent conditions. Disease that we can get from not eating healthy foods are also very much. For example, nowadays many children eat junk food and fast food like McD, KFC, instant noodles, and other. The impacts of frequent consumption of junk food can also result in an increased fat level in your body, which is make it unbalanced. So that can make people again too fast compared to people that always eat healthy food. And the unbalanced fat level can also increase degenerative disease such as diabetes, mellitus, hypertension, coronary heart disease, and cancer, even death. It's okay to eat fast food as long as it's balanced by eating healthy food. Therefore, maintaining and keeping the body health is so important. If this health is maintained properly, so we can do all daily activities smoothly and comfortably, so we can achieve more achievement in the future. You are also suggested to consume food or snack that are clean and healthy. We can see healthy and clean food from the packaging in order to keep our healthy good as always, because a bad and dirty environment is a source of disease. So you should keep the environment around you always in a good condition. Therefore, now let's take care of our health together. You don't need to wait until tomorrow. Start a healthy life easily, such as keeping a healthy and regular lifestyle so that our health is maintained. That's short speech about health that I can tell you all. If there are any mistakes in my speech and my words, I apologize. Thank you for the attention.
Thank you so much for Mr. Wilson Deprilius, and your speech time is 2 minutes and 12 seconds. Let's move to our next participant. We have Alberta Lucia from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is Stop Animal Testing. Time is yours.
Okay, good evening, Ma'am Erna, Coach Mike, and my fellow participants. My name is Alberta Lucia, and I'm here today to talk about a controversial issue that has been around for a period of time, which is animal testing. The term animal testing refers to procedures performed on living animals with different chemical substances, from medical to cosmetic, to determine their safety as well as effectiveness. According to Cruelty Free International, over 115 million animals are used for animal testing worldwide every year. Many different species are used around the world, but the most common include bunnies, guinea pigs, mice, monkeys, and many more. Experimenters force those animals to inhale toxic fumes, immobilize them in restraint devices, drill holes into their skulls, mutilate their brains, and burn their skin and eyes. And if the animals don't die in the process, they're killed afterward, either by suffocation, neck breaking, or decapitation. But some may be used in following experiments. Whether it's for biology lessons, medical training, curiosity-driven experiments, or chemical, drug, food, or cosmetics testing, these animals are socially isolated and psychologically traumatized. When animals are used for product toxicity testing or laboratory research, they are subjected to painful and frequently deadly experiments. Two of the most commonly used toxicity tests are the DRACE test and the LD50 test, both of which are infamous for giving intense pain and suffering towards experimental animals. In the DRACE test, the substance or product being tested is placed in the eyes of an animal. Generally, a rabbit is used for this test. In the LD50 test, the researchers hook the animals up to tubes that pump huge amounts of the test product into their stomachs until they die. Both of these tests is extremely painful to the animal. The use of the DRACE test and the LD50 test to examine product toxicity has decreased over the past few years, but these tests have not been eliminated completely. At this point, animal testing is unnecessary. Replacing animals used in testing will improve the quality as well as the humanity of our science. These alternatives to animal testing include sophisticated tests using human cells and tissues, also known as in vitro methods, advanced computer modeling techniques, and studies with human volunteers. We shouldn't rely on animal testing because animals and humans are completely different from each other, which prevents valid results. This is proven to be true in cancer research. Despite successfully curing mice of cancer for decades, we still have not found one for humans. And many cases of drug harmless for animals have been detrimental for humans, such as a sleeping pill that caused birth defects. This is why we must support companies that use animal testing alternatives. Each of us can help prevent animal suffering and death by buying cruelty-free products, donating only to charities that don't experiment on animals, never abandon our pets to an animal shelter, and rescue from an animal shelter. Billions of dollars are funded each year in the animal testing industry. So next time you go to the store to buy makeup, medication, or even toothpaste, make a well-informed decision about whether or not you support animal experimentation. In conclusion, animal testing should be eliminated because it violates animals' rights. It causes pain and suffering to the experimental animals, and other alternatives are available. Humans cannot justify making life better for themselves by randomly torturing and executing thousands of animals to perform laboratory experiments or to test products. Remember that animals were put in this world with us, not for us. Thank you for your attention and good evening.
Thank you so much for Alberta for your speech, and your speech time is 3 minutes and 51 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Eldred Diliantan from St. Joseph Senior High School. He will bring the title about New Order of Life. Time is yours.
Ladies and gentlemen, 2020 and 2021 will go down in history as two of the most difficult years of my life. Many people has been infected with the virus that is spreading all over the world. We never know if our family will be infected, even though we have followed all of the government's instructions. From that point on, I felt as if my life had changed dramatically and not in the usual way. But I won't let the fear change my belief, because I should believe there is always an answer for everything. So, in this occasion, I want to deliver an important message on how a COVID-19 pandemic changed our lives. Well, as far as we know, this virus has been around for nearly 3 years and is still spreading nonstop, beginning with the Alpha, Beta, Delta, and progressing to the new Omicron variant. Today, I'm going to tell you in detail and from the perspective of a student on how things changed. Well, I just remembered when this virus first arrived in Indonesia on 2nd March 2020. Everything felt dark and empty. This global pandemic has an impact on education, the economy, society, health, peace, and many more. As a student who should be studying at school and greeting friends, also teachers, but now this is impossible to achieve and everything must be done through online, definitely through an online class. When there was no pandemic, I could explore more subjects relating to education with my teachers and classmates at school. But now everything must be done online. Have you ever considered how monotony, which comes day after day, week after week, we never leave the gadget because of schoolwork? That probably, I will be honest and like to say we don't even understand but are forced to compete. I miss the food in the school canteen, as well as joking and talking about a lot of topics that provide delight and amusement. But as you can see, now everything is limited. But I can't keep giving this selfishness so much weight, because I'm not the only one who has noticed a huge shift. But what about students who are having trouble accessing education, internet networks, or maybe don't have access to a device at all? Now, to deliver a quality materials to his students, a teacher should learn about technology. But I understand not every single teacher could understand quickly and easily. Ladies and gentlemen, we are all affected, and this COVID-19 has completely formed a new order of life. Aside from the bad consequences, it is no longer about selfish, but rather about a sense of solidarity. Our power as human beings, it is time for us to demonstrate our togetherness to make everything for the better. Let's limit our selfishness, and I believe we will survive until this pandemic is over. So please, do it for me, do it for you, and do it for us. Good evening, and thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Albert for your speech, and your speech time is 2 minutes and 53 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Rio Ray from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is Pandemic COVID-19. Time is yours.
Good evening, Memena and everyone. My name is Rio Rinaldi. At this meeting, I want to talk a little about the COVID-19 pandemic. Today, we are still in the same state of the COVID-19 pandemic as the previous year. Many victims are fallen because of this deadly virus. Not infrequently, the victims are our own family, our friends, our boss, or our bosses, even our neighbors. We are all probably tired of this condition right now, tired of word about the pandemic, virus, corona, and COVID-19. But always remember that the COVID-19 pandemic will only end if we remain strong, enthusiastic, and obey health protocols. If we see people around us violating health protocols, it is obligatory for us to remind them. Don't be shy and don't be afraid, because violating health protocols will actually make us longer in a pandemic atmosphere. Many of our colleagues and health workers have lost their life because of the coronavirus. Let's pay for their departure by implementing the best health protocols so that their departure is not in vain. We can and are able to get out of this pandemic as long as we work together as best we can. Don't underestimate and always apply health protocol. Finally, that's all I can say. Let's get back to work for humanity. That is all, and thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Rio for your speech, and your speech time is and your speech time is 1 minute and 46 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Yesha Melinda from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is COVID-19. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully, we are all in good health and can do useful activities. It is an honor for me to be able to share my speech in front of all of my friends. Hopefully, with my speech today, it can be useful for all of us. In the current COVID-19 pandemic season, I'm grateful that I can still see my friends and beloved teachers in good health, and I'm very grateful that I'm still given the opportunity to meet all of you. Until now, the pandemic is still running. We all should always obey every regulation that has been set by the government, because if we are a little careless or violate the consequences that will occur. Of course, it is very risky for all of us. Wearing a mask and always keeping a distance has become a mandatory thing that we must do to avoid the impact of the COVID-19 pandemic, so it doesn't drag on. At this time, we should all be grateful because the government has provided vaccination that are useful to support increasing our immune system so that we can avoid exposure to the coronavirus. Vaccination is currently divided into two stages, namely the first dose vaccination and the second dose of vaccination. However, the government has recently prepared or conducted a booster vaccination or a third dose of vaccination, where these three doses of vaccination have the same goal, so that we have a strong immune system. For transportation traffic activities in Indonesia at this time, which no longer requires a negative COVID-19 certificate, which is produced through a series of rapid antigen tests or swab tests. With this, we are all very grateful, but also not completely satisfied, so that we become careless in maintaining the health of our bodies from exposure to the COVID-19 virus. The conclusion that we can draw from the topic of my speech today, even though the situation seems to be starting to improve with the government's decision not to need to use a rapid antigen certificate, we should still maintain and obey health protocols in order to have healthy immune system and avoid exposure to the COVID-19. That's all from me today. I apologize if there are mistakes, whether we realized it or not. I hope we are always healthy and protected from the COVID-19 virus. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Ms. Yesa for your speech. There was an amazing speech, and the time you spent for this speech is 3 minutes and 5 seconds. Let's move to our next participant. We have Surgiwe from St. Joseph Senior High School, and she will bring the topic about City of Batam. Time is yours.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. At this meeting, I wish to convey an interesting facts to Batam in accordance with my experience and Google search. Since I have a special interest with this city. Before we begin, I'd like to introduce the city of Batam. The city of Batam is nicknamed the Industrial City. Batam is also the largest city on Riau Islands, Indonesia. The first fact that I took was unique, that in the city of Batam, I had hardly even ever found the power pole, since the government there arranged to have any electric or cable planted. The Batam Road is nice and spacious, and construction in the city of Batam was not near either the roads or main roads, because the government of Batam then roads construction. Second fact, Batam has many bridges connecting between the islands. Teungku Visabila Bridge connect Batam Islands and Tonton Islands. Narasinga Bridge connect Tonton Islands and Nipa Islands. Raja Ali Haji Bridge connect Nipa Islands and Stockholm Islands. Sultan Zainal Abidin Bridge connect Stockholm Islands and Rempa Islands. Tuanku Tambusai Bridge connect Rempang Islands and Galang Islands. In the end, Raja Kecik Bridge connect Galang Islands and Galang Baru Islands. Third fact, Batam held many harbors in spite of the small towns. Batam's strategic position and the international cruise route, therefore Batam owns the large international port in Indonesia. Fourth fact, the runways at the Nadim Airport is 4,025 meters. With a long runway, Batam is called the longest runway of Southeast Asia. In addition to some of the earlier advantage, Batam also has a weakness. Batam City has hot weather. According to Meteorology, Climatology, and Geophysical Agency, it was due to lower cloud cover over the Batam region. Batam is a city with very limited natural water resources. While it has many territories with their say or river, such as Risai Panas, Seladi, Seloko, no stream of water runs over the city of Batam, as does Ciliwung, Cisanade, and Citarum. The river is literally just named. Directly bordering Singapore and Malaysia, the city also has no natural springs because it has no mountains. Only the rocky hills line several points of towns. For water needs, Batam built 6 reservoirs. This is an interesting fact of Batam. We conclude that Batam has super infrastructure, has 6 island connecting beaches, and has many international harbors of overuse, as well as Batam has a shortage of hot air temperatures and limited natural water resources. I think that's all my speech. I hope it's useful for you all. I'm sorry for any words or behave that unpleasing your hearts. Thank you very much for the occasion and your kind attention. Good evening.
Thank you so much for Mr. Giwe for your speech. It is an amazing speech, and you spent 3 minutes and 20 seconds for your speech. Let's move to our next participant. We have Gea Virginia from St. Joseph Senior High School, and she will bring the topic about our forever friends. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Today, I want to give a short speech about our forever friends. Our country is given abundant natural wealth, especially a beautiful beaches, a great mountains, and a wide forest. And today, I'm going to talk about forest. Our country has a very wide forest. It's even called the lungs of the world. But have you ever noticed how much of our forest is decreasing now? Many animals lost their home and even their family because of illegal logging. And many animals has been endangered, and it because the greed of humans who cut down the forest so that their homes are lost. But not only animals, humans also really need plants. Plants help us in many things. Plants help us to resist water and erosion. Besides that, plants help us to maintain the soil fertility. And the most important role of plants is plants produce oxygen when carrying out the process of photosynthesis. And at the same time of photosynthesis, plants also absorb the carbon dioxide gas, which is a toxic gas for humans. And what if we cut down the trees? What will happen if illegal logging not stopped? First, the lowlands will be easily affected by flooding because there are no more trees to absorb the rainwater. And it can cause erosion because there are no more tree roots to hold the soil. And and the soil will absorb too much sunlight and it makes the soil too very dry and arid, and it makes the soil too hard to grow a new plants. Illegal logging can cause a greenhouse effect because there are no more trees to absorb the carbon dioxide gas. Carbon dioxide gas is a toxic gas for humans because carbon dioxide gas holds the sun's heat in the Earth's atmosphere. So the sun's heat trapped in the Earth's atmosphere, and it causes the Earth's temperature will increase. The melt of glaciers, and it makes the sea levels are increased. The preservation of nature will maintain the balance of the environmental ecosystem. So, by protecting the forest, we're protecting the population of nature. We can't deny that we need nature in our life to help us because nature will be our forever friends. That's all from me. I'm sorry if I'm not good. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for Miss Gea. That was an amazing speech, and you spent 3 minutes and 25 seconds for your speech. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Nicholas Nelson, and he will bring the title about games. Miss yours.
Okay, good evening, everyone. Thank you for having me. Because of the pandemic, most of the people spend their day staying at home. Hence, sometimes people get bored and one of their escapement is playing online game. Online gaming is a double-edged sword that has its share of merits and demerits. Coming on the bright side of online games, there are a bunch of benefits of online game as they hone our analytical thinking, inculcate the importance of goal-oriented behavior, as a lot of online games involve mission and level which require really good gaming skills. Playing online game help teenagers connect with their peer, as most of the teenagers play online games, and also if play within limits, then the online game can become a really good leisure activity. Now, after exploring the merits, we will now understand the dark side of online game. Play excessive online games reduce our interest in other important activities like academic, other sports, and also all this sitting and playing online game is detrimental for physical and mental health. Also, these games are highly addictive in nature, which not only distort focus, but also inhibit delayed gratification among children. Playing action games frequently makes children impulsive and aggressive. The research found that gaming addiction is correlated with the low self-esteem, negative belief about oneself, and poor social relationship. Be careful while playing online game, as the most attractive game can be the biggest distraction that can hinder you from achieving your goals and dreams. Now, after taking both merits and demerits of online gaming into consideration, is it safe to say that online games are very beneficial, as well as harmful depending completely on us, whether we allow this game to overpower our willpower or not. Otherwise, if play in a limit, playing games can be a rewarding experience as well. Thank you for attention.
Thank you so much for Mr. Nicholas for your speech. There was an amazing speech, and you spent 1 minute and 50 seconds for your speech. Now we have Mr. Fondri Chandranarta, and he will drive global warming as the topic. Time is yours.
Good evening, everybody. Today I'm Fondri, and I'm gonna talk about what global warming actually is. Global warming is the most common thing that we're gonna talk today. I guess we already know it, but let me explain. Global warming itself is actually the disease that our humanity has been produced, which is pretty bad for ourselves and our climate. And what global warming actually did to us, maybe you guys not feeling it yet, but there is some significant thing that already been produced by the global warming and the greenhouse effect. For the example, I'm gonna talk about what the global warming effect to our climate. The global warming effect on climate is I'm gonna talk about my experience. Okay, today, there's one day that I feel at the summer. I feel at the daytime it's very hot, and then I think it's over. But then at the night it's turned out, but the climate is changing. So at the day is very hot, then the night is very cold. So that's not easy, you know. And that's why there's a lot of people that getting weaker right now and getting sick so easily, even though they are healthy, eating healthy and do healthy thing. And then, what is the biggest polluter in our earth? The biggest polluter in our earth is actually cars. Cars, motorcycle, they're both the same. They're using a gasoline as a fuel, and then turned out giving us transportation, but it turned out it's making a lot of toxic gas as CO2, and that's what makes the global warming is dangerous. It's create the greenhouse effect that what did I just tell. And then, as you can see, cars at the first time at the pandemic, when there's not a lot of people that coming out and using cars, the air is become cleaner, and yeah, you can see the ozone itself is regenerating, and that's it. So what's the example here that we can conclude is actually the biggest pollution itself, I think, is us, the humanity itself. And that's it for my speech. Good night and good evening, and thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Fondri. There was an amazing speech. And the time you spent for your speech is 2 minutes and 42 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Justin from St. Jesus Senior High School, and he will drive a topic about my life. Time is yours.
Yeah. Hi, today I will talk about my life. So, life for me can be something very beautiful or become darkness that can eat and burn human souls until all that remains is nothingness. My life started when I was born on 21st December 2004. I was born knowing nothing in this world with a cry that I can't remember now. Like most human in general, I was raised in a very normal family. I got food, I got clothes, I got shelter, and I got love from my parents. But of course, in the name of life, there must be trials and errors. There must be strange things that can cause life to be less friendly. Well, don't go too far. I often get a bad score on assignment or tests even though I have studied hard. And the worst case is when this happened years ago in elementary school. Bells and brooms are sure to welcome me warmly. But yeah, fate is fate and destiny is destiny. It is quite difficult to change this thing without proper preparation and enough time. Speaking of time, it seems junior high school was the most enjoyable time for me in the context of school, of course, even though notes, assignment, and tests have become my daily routine. I still remember the crazy and stupid things that I did with my friends. Sometimes I miss those days. Anyway, my life changed kinda a lot when I entered high school. It all happened suddenly. I was in shock and didn't know the state of my surrounding. I'm like a soldier who forgets to carry a weapon and a man who forgets his own identity. Okay, maybe that's too much. Maybe that's too much. I think I'm overestimating my high school days. But yeah, high school for me is the one of the new stage to life. It feels strange, unpleasant, and confusing period. This is simply because maybe the school factors, I felt that I was taking the wrong major, or if we take another point of view, for example, from the social point of view, my connection and friends were very few at high school. So at the beginning of high school, I felt difficult and quite tired. And then there is also a mental health problem in my life. At first, I thought I was a pretty strong person when it comes to mental issue, but I simply was wrong. I'm not a strong person. I need a lot of help, and I can't use my solo versus everybody skill in this world, except maybe if I have 200 IQ or something like that. But yeah, life goes on. I know that everything is a long life process, and I can't change it drastically suddenly. I just hope that later we can find our own freedom and feel grateful for being born in this world. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Justin. There was an amazing speech, and your speech time is 3 minutes and 22 seconds. Now, before we start next session, please watch this video. Okay, now let's start our second session. Before we start our second session, I will remind you one more time, guys. Please be aware with the sign. Green mean 2 minutes, yellow mean 4 minutes, and red mean 5 minutes. Now let's give our first chance to our first participant in this session. Mr. Fergan Fernando from St. Joseph Senior High School, and he will bring the topic about lack of health protocols during the pandemic. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Fergan Fernando. Today, I want to tell you guys about the lack of health protocol during this pandemic. To May 2021, in Tanah Abang, Jakarta, there is a crowd because people are shopping for new clothes for holiday. And then, 11 December 2021, there's a shortage of fuel in Bangka Belitung, so that there is a crowd because people are busy queuing to buy fuel. And now, people are busy queuing to get cooking oil because cooking oil is scarce in Indonesia. From the several cases above, it can be seen that there is still a lack of compliance with health protocols in Indonesia. They don't keep their distance and they don't wear masks. They violate health protocol for their own sake, so that there is a spike in case of COVID-19, which is difficult to control. For 2 years, we are stuck in this pandemic period with the deadly virus spreading all around us. For 2 years, we have to do activities from our respective home, practice new habits to adapt the circumstance around us. We all know this is uncomfortable for us because we can live like the usual. We hope that this pandemic ends as soon as possible. We fight against the virus by following the health protocols. We passed the important days to celebrate so that this virus will soon disappear from our life. But out there, there's still many people who violate the health protocol for their own sake. They make this virus grow, mutate, and become virus. They kept us far from our freedom. They put many lives at risk. Others did not realize that so many lives have been lost because of this virus. And on the other side, they blame the government. They say that the government is not good at dealing with this pandemic. Others did not aware that their actions are make this all more difficult. If we don't start now, then when we will be free? Don't you guys first worry for our next generation? Let's obey the health protocols together so that we will soon be free from this pandemic and life like before. That's what I want to say. Thank you for attention. Hopefully we will be free from this pandemic soon. Good evening, everyone.
Thank you so much for Mr. Fergian for your speech. That was an amazing speech. And your time for this speech is 2 minutes and 59 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Cliff Gilbert from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is Daily Activities. Time is yours. This is your second calling, Mr. Cliff. Okay. Maybe we will skip. And next participant, we have Catherine from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the title is The Dangers of Drugs on Health. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. On this occasion, I will give speech with the theme of the danger of drug unhealthy. As we know, drugs are an abbreviation of narcotic, psychotherapy, and illegal drugs. In Indonesia, drugs are prohibited and have been regulated in Law Number 35 of 2009 concerning narcotics. In the regulator, it is written that all people who without right or against the law plan, maintain, process, store, control, and provide drugs will be subject to criminal law. Unfortunately, drug dealers are now getting smarter in circulating these illegal drugs. This drug can cause addiction if users excessively benefit of the substance can excessively be used as painkiller and provide pills for certain diseases. However, some people often use this substance for other purposes, causing bad effects for their own health when consumed. The longer it will eat away at the organ of the body, and excessive doses can also make the brain and liver system slowly, which in time can kill the nervous system. Therefore, many victims of abuser experience depression, hallucination. In this case, the way to deal with victims who are addicted to these substance can be drug rehabilitation. However, even with rehabilitation, there is still the possibility that the abuser will return to consume it. Therefore, let's be wise or using something. Let the content in drugs be used for people who are sick with doctor advice. Thus of us who are still healthy should stay away and avoid it. That's all I can say. My way I'll avoid the dangers of drugs. The Lord. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Miss Catherine. That was an amazing speech. And your time for your speech is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Jericho Chung from St. Joseph Senior High School. And the title is The Importance of Education in this Millennial Era.
Okay, first of all, my good evening to respect teachers and my dear friend. I want to give a speech on the importance of education, about with other people present here now, but education plays a very important role in everyone's life. It is very important to get proper education in the same way as the healthy body needs food to achieve success and happiness. It is very necessary to live a great and better life. It provides physical and mental standards by developing a person's personality and change the level of living of the people. It promotes the feeling of living a better life as well as being good at the physical, mental, and social level. The nature of good education is constructive, which creates our future forever. It helps us a person to improve his mental, physical, and spiritual level. It gives us a lot of confidence by providing knowledge of many areas. It is also the single and the important path of personal development along with success. The more we acquire knowledge in our life, the more we grow and develop in our lives. Good educate means that it is never a certification and getting a job in a reputed and recognized organization or institution. Although it also means having a good and social person in life. It helps us to determine what is right and wrong for us and for those related to us. The first objective of getting good education is to become a good citizen and to become a successful person in personal and professional life. We are incomplete without good education because education makes us the right thinker and the right decision maker. In this competitive world, education has become a major imperative after human food, clothing, and housing. It is capable of providing solutions to all kinds of problems. It promotes corruption, terrorism, good practice about other social issues among us and awareness. Education is the most important tool for providing internal and external power for a person. Education is the fundamental right of all and capable of any desire, change, and upliftment of human brain and society. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Jericho Chung. There was an amazing speech too, and your time for your speech is 2 minutes and 3 seconds. Let's move to our next participant. We have Mr. Jonathan Frisky, and he will drive the topic about activities. Time is yours, Mr. Jonathan.
Good evening, ma'am and friends. So today I would like to give a speech about keeping the environment always clean. Let us together praise and thanks to God for His blessing and grace, so we can all be together in good health on this Zoom meeting. My most proud friends, of all, we need to realize that the environment is a lifeline for all of us, humanity. Then we must maintain our environment well so that the earth will bring us benefit, not even disaster. One of the ways then the earth does not give a disaster to us if keeping the environment clean. It's in keeping the environment clean. First of all, we must know what environment cleanliness means. What is the real definition of cleanliness? Is it a state of human habitation where human health is physically protected? Then we must keep the environment clean in order to create a decent and proper life. Happy friends, keeping the environment clean is the best way to prevent the disease that is spying during the rainy season. Keeping the environment clean can start with cleaning up our beloved school, St. Joseph's Senior High School. When our schools are clean, then the other will feel free to follow our good habit of cleaning up our school. And we ask the residents of this school were also affected beneficially by the activity of teaching, learning will be comfortable because our environment is totally clean. Keeping the school environment clean can be done by bringing the trash in our school environment to the trash can and regularly cleaning our school classroom. Alternatively, on a daily schedule and every Friday to clean up the school environment from the Aedes aegypti mosquito that is causing dengue fever. My friend is conclusion. I want to give a quote that say cleanliness is part of the faith. So when one does not care about cleanliness, he is not really a believer. In future, I also hope that we as humanity can be more involved in keeping the environment clean. That's my speech. More or less, I beg your pardon. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Jonathan. And your time for your speech is 2 minutes and 55 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Valencia Stanto from St. Joseph Senior High School. And the topic she will bring is capital punishment. Should we allow it? Time is yours.
Okay, greetings, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Valencia Stanto, and today I'm going to talk about capital punishment. I'm sure all of us are very familiar with this term. We have all heard about it at least once in our life. So capital punishment, also called death penalty, is execution of an offender sentenced to death after conviction by a court of law of a criminal offense. So to put it simply, it's when the government decide to sentence a criminal to death. So it's a really controversial thing in so many countries in the world. So many countries have abolished this practice. However, there are some countries that still carry it out, like China, USA, Uni Arab Emirates, Iraq, Iran, etc. While countries who execute commonly cite the death penalty as a way to prevent or deter people from committing crime. But however, the data shows that
When comparisons are made between the states with the capital punishment and states without it, the majority of death penalty states show that murder rates is actually higher than non-death penalty states. So in actuality, capital punishment doesn't solve crime effectively, even though it certainly has its own benefits, especially in appeasing the victims or the victims' families and giving them justice. But in fact, we need to consider some things, like, for example, what if the guilty is later proven to be innocent? Capital punishment is irreversible and mistakes could happen. There's a risk that an innocent person could be executed. In fact, it already happened several times in history. Capital punishment is also misused in some countries. The authorities in some countries, for example, like Iran and Sudan, use the death penalty to punish their political opponents. The death penalty also violates the right to life, which happens to be the most basic of all human rights. It also violates the right not to be subjected to torture and other cruel, inhuman, or degrading treatment or punishment. Furthermore, the death penalty undermines human dignity, which is inherent to every human being. So, in conclusion, capital punishment is not the solution that we need. For sure, we all want a criminal justice system that's sensible, effective, and creates a safe society with less crime. And evidence shows that the death penalty has no impact on public safety. So, by abolishing the death penalty or capital punishment, we could focus our time, energy, and resources on supporting victims and families harmed by violence. Justice could be served in another way, such as life imprisonment for criminals. Death penalty or capital punishment should be abolished. It's not more effective than any other punishments. It violates human rights, and it also has many risks. That's it, my speech for today. I hope all of you who are listening to my speech will be benefited from it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your speech, Ms. Valencia Stanto. And your speech time is 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Ms. Neiliana from St. Joseph Senior High School. And the title is Why Abortion is Something Wrong. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you for accepting me on this beautiful day. I love being here around such a beautiful and great audience. Today, on this occasion, allow me to talk about an issue that has been debated all this time. This is abortion. Why abortion is something wrong? All have known how this problem affects a person's life, whether their personal health life or even their social life. Abortion is not only denied from religious reasons, but from medical as well. Through medical opinion, it was agreed that abortion will have the worst impact on women who did this act for their future life. Most women who have experienced it cannot give birth again in their married life. Every day, 115,000 children die from abortion. All those lives are lost. All the potential is lost. And all hope in the future was lost. Some of you may think that this action doesn't really kill. After all, the fetus inside doesn't have a child yet, right? But my friends need to know the word fetus comes from Latin, which means young child or little child. Some babies are born just after 5 months. Is this baby not human? We will never say that. We just call them human if they want to. No, the fetus must be a human. When you had the chance to live your life, to be born and witness the splendor of the world, when no one took your right to life, why would you turn into a bad person who ruthlessly took someone's life when that right was clearly theirs? Why do you need to take someone's life to protect your life that you have ruined? It doesn't matter how the fetus enters the womb of some woman through legal means or not, they have the same right to life. You need to respect that. There are so many abortions around us, whether it is known to us or not known at all. Sometimes we can only silently listen to other people's stories. People around us will be able to do anything to reduce the occurrence of these crimes. Of course, this cannot be tolerated. It is appropriate that this abortion issue should be made part of the main program framework in various related agencies or institutions to deal with it, because this cannot be separated from the elements of a criminal act. That's all for my speech today. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Miss Meliana. There was an amazing speech, and your speech time is 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Marcel Darren Febrian. He will bring the topic about technologies. Technology. Time is yours.
Good evening, ma'am and friends. So on this occasion, I would like to give a speech about will artificial intelligence replace human jobs in the future. The Industrial Revolution 4.0 has changed the rhythm of world technology development. Technological developments are very rapid. Research on technology is being carried out. Automation in all areas and sectors is being developed. If you've ever heard, one of the biggest evolution today is the Sophia robot. The Sophia robot can do almost everything that we tell it to do, or even talk to humans. Isn't that a threat to human jobs? Besides the Sophia robot, Elon Musk also came up with crazy ideas about technological developments in the automotive world. Elon Musk developed an electric car with all the unbelievable automation, so it doesn't need a human to drive it. Another technology is in the form of a package delivery drone. Without using human control, the packet that we want to send has arrived in front of the recipient's house. Even the industrial world doesn't want to lose. Almost the entire production process has been done by robots. Moving items, packing, and many other jobs that have been done with automation without human control. It is possible that cashiers or even medical workers will be replaced by robots as well. Next, what about household workers? Is it also possible to get replaced? The answer is clear, yes. Now the technology of automatic floor cleaning is booming, so you can even sitting and relaxing, and then the house will be cleaned by automation. In addition, other machines are also being developed to support and convenience in household needs, such as dishwashers, automatic irons, and many others. Even in the agricultural sector, automation technology has also been created which can give a threat to workers in the sector. For example, now there have been rice planting and harvesting machines, pesticide spraying, and with the help of drone technology, soil processing machines, and many other agricultural machines that have been used or are in the development stage. From these facts, is it true that technology will replace or even eliminate human work in the future? The answer is no. Human and technology will go side by side like a mutualism symbiosis that needs each other. According to the Indonesian Minister of Finance, there are several skills in humans that are not easily replaced by machines, such as empathy, creativity, and analytical skill for complex problems. These things are difficult to imitate or apply to artificial intelligence technology, while jobs that are easily replaced are those that are repetition and memorization. Because automation technology, robots, and artificial intelligence are easy to do that kind of thing. Things that need intelligence are easily done by robots or AI, because humans with an IQ of 150 are already considered very genius, even though at this time the IQ of robot has reached 700 or even 700,000. Artificial intelligence is easy to memorize or work with very large data. In the future, human work will be replaced by technology, but unlike we start off, humans will also still have jobs. Every job that is taken over by machines, there will be a number of new opportunities that must be done by humans. Some of these human jobs are the creative type. So in the future, humans must learn about creativity, emotion, and instinct that are not easily imitated by artificial intelligence. The level of EQ, emotional quotient, in humans will determine their competitiveness. Thank you for all. That's all of my speech. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Marcel. That was an amazing speech, and your speech time is 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Selviana from St. Joseph Senior High School, and she will drive the topic about healthy food for healthy life. Time is yours.
All right, so do you guys know how much does food has impact on our life? Well, today I want to share about a big idea about how healthy food plays a very important role in our life. Well, basically, having food is a basic activity of all human beings. We live in a world where undernutrition and obesity can exist side by side in the same country, home, or even a person. Foods that are high in sugar, salt, and unhealthy fats are leading to unhealthy diets, and are one reason why children nowadays may not be growing healthily, while causing other people to develop overweight or obesity. The consumption of unhealthy food habits is heavily influenced by marketing. Easy access is fueling this new nutrition reality. Our health and fitness are directly proportional to our food habits, but sometimes we are not well aware of what to eat and what to not. But thankfully, change toward a healthier future is possible. Today, it is very easy to develop healthy food habits. By having a sustainable, healthy diet made up of a variety of foods that are safe for consumption, we can promote health and have abilities to fight illness. Healthy food habits are simply those eating practices that are good for our physical and mental health. We tend to eat delicious and tasty food sometimes without knowing how healthy or unhealthy it is for our health. But it's not so difficult to know about the nutritional value of any specific food item. We can search it easily on the internet about that, and we will get a lot of information about it. When we have already maintained what we should eat and what we shouldn't, then trust me, a healthy life is waiting for us ahead. Well, there's a lot to say, but the time is limited and we must respect time. So that's it for my speech today. Thank you all for listening to me. Have a great night.
Thank you so much for Ms. Selviana. That was an amazing speech, and your speech time is 1 minute and 54 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Ms. Virginia Tanzareta from St. Joseph Senior High School, and she will drive the topic about We Earth. Time is yours.
Tonight I will deliver a speech with the theme We Earth, knowingly or not. Now the Earth we live is not doing well. You could even say it was almost a mess because of several months ago, or even recently, there have many natural disasters that have befallen this Earth, such as floods, eruption of Mount Semeru, entity earthquake, fires, forests, and even the extinction of animals. There are many things that we do not realize that we are doing. We set in direction to mess the Earth because the condition of the Earth in the future is in our hands. We have a responsibility to restore the Earth, to give back so that our next generation can enjoy the beauty that is in the world. There are many things we can change, starting from simple things like planting trees, disposing of garbage in the place, saving electricity so the Earth is fresh again. Treat this environment well, then the Earth will give you incomparable beauty. Therefore, I invite all of you to take care of this Earth. This Earth is home to all the creatures on it. With a fresh and sustainable Earth, we will all feel safe. This Earth does not only belong to us, but also to the young people in the future. What will we give to them later? If we do not take care of this Earth from them, whether Earth is beautiful, green, fresh, or the Earth is damaged, arid, without tree. Therefore, let's from now of make this right distinction from the future of this Earth and all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Miss Virginia for your speech. That was an amazing speech. And your speech time is 1 minute and 50 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Miss Rizka Feranda from St. Joseph Junior High School. And the title is Importance of Health. Time is yours, Miss Rizka.
Good evening. It is such an honor for me to be here in front of all of you on this occasion talking about the importance of health. First of all, let us give thanks to Almighty who has given us his blessing and his grace so that we all can gather here today in good condition and health. There is a wise saying that the wealthiest men are those who are the healthiest. It means that health is the most significant thing for any living being. When we are healthy, we can do anything. A healthy mind and body allow us to enjoy our life very well. When we are not in good health, we cannot do our daily activities properly. We cannot enjoy our favorite food, we cannot play with our friends, and we cannot even sleep well. Thus, it is not exaggerating to say that our well-being is our most valuable wealth. Many people still do not realize that health is their possession that is very precious. They are not afraid to risk their well-being for something less important. They will notice the value of their health only when they get sick. We don't want to be like them. We must not wait until we lose our health only to treasure our health. Treasuring our health means we take care of our health. There are several ways we can do to maintain our health. First, we should eat nutrition food. Make sure that we consume a balanced diet every day to satisfy our daily nutritional needs. Second, we should take care of the cleanness around us. We should clean our house and nearby environment routinely. Don't forget to maintain the hygiene of our body too. We should always wash our hands before eating or after going to the toilet. Next thing we can do to protect our health is that we should exercise regularly. Working out regularly can strengthen our immune system. Exercise can also help our body producing happy hormones. As a result, not only we will be physically healthy, but also we will be mentally healthy. Mental health is as important as physical health. To improve our mental health, we should rest our mind and we should try to keep calm and think positive in every situation. That way, our body will receive positive energy. Believe it or not, positivity can make us healthier and let us enjoy life to the fullest. To end my speech, I would like to quote an proverb. He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. Thank you so much for your time and attention. I wish all of you best of health and happiness.
Thank you so much for Ms. Rizka for your speech. Your speech was an amazing speech, and you spent 3 minutes and 12 seconds for your speech. Now we have Ms. Novianti Artika Devi from St. Joseph Senior High School, and the topic she will drive is juvenile delinquency. Time is yours.
Good evening, everyone. Let me deliver my speech about the education under the title Juvenile Delinquency. Nowadays, a lot of juvenile delinquency is happening such as drug, sex, and promiscuity. In this area of globalization, many teenagers and even children have fallen into promiscuity. Promiscuity is excessive and weekend association that violates the rules or religion norms that exist in society. One example of promiscuity is doing, using drugs, smoking, illegal racing, golf, sex, and pregnancy of people. Factors that influence promiscuity include the influence of foreign culture, the influence of friends who are not well behaved, lack of self-awareness, and lack of attention from parents or broken homes. We often blame young people for engaging in promiscuity, even though the rise of promiscuity is not necessarily the fault of the child. As long as they are minor, they are under responsibility of an older person.
Children who fall into promiscuity on average have problems with their families. Disharmonious households, parental divorce, domestic violence, or lack of love from parents. Finally, what they do not find in the family, they seek outside. Therefore, the most effective way to prevent promiscuity in children is from the family. Let's love and care for our children, protect them by building a healthy and harmonious household. Then let children get caught up in a relationship during their future. As a result of that factor, the child will seek attention outside the home in environments which may be detrimental to the child himself, like the evenings, school of the absent at school, and the future of the child becomes bleak. Promiscuity is a plague in the association of teenagers and young people. This uncontrolled sporadic outbreak has had serious negative impact on the future of the Indonesian nation. Promiscuity can be done consciously by young people or just following the trends. For those who don't know the consequences of promiscuity, there are some important points do not consider for having promiscuity. The first thing about promiscuity is that women are the creatures who are most harmed and targeted. For you young women, promiscuity tends to lead to free sex compared to drugs use, insubordination, or so on. First of all, be aware that you live in Indonesia, which is flanked by other science countries which are full of Eastern customs. In addition, having promiscuity have us will get dangerous diseases that can be cured, the those that are difficult and even scarred, such as AIDS, herpes, cancer, or so on. Common says that affects the preservatives of promiscuity is chlamydia. There are many ways that we can do the reverse of promiscuity, namely feeling restored activity by doing positive activities, daring to say no to someone who is or in fact to have promiscuity, not following friends who behave badly, and obeying the rules that can set in society. With the young generation who can be proud of their family, nation, and country. Promiscuity can be only ruin the future of all us. Not only that, promiscuity can make us miserable in the world and this hereafter. I hope that my friends can become such students who excel and are taught but to stay away from promiscuity that could only damage the future and protect the good name of family, school, and country. I think enough. Thank you for your next attention.
Thank you so much for Ms. Novianti for your speech. That was an amazing speech, and your speech time is 4 minutes and 17 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Mr. Laurentius Ardian Nugroho from St. Jesus Senior High School, and he will bring the topic about pandemic. Time is yours.
Hello everyone. Today I will discuss about a virus that has changed human life. For approximately 2 years, we have faced the problem of the COVID-19 virus that has hit the whole world, which was first discovered in Wuhan, China. This virus spread quickly throughout the world, including Indonesia. The Indonesian government at the time was considered to be last phase in responding to the problem is the virus, so that the virus quickly spread Indonesian. The Indonesian spread has made conditions in Indonesia worse, both in the terms of health and economy. Many doctor and medical personnel did in carrying out their duties. Many people were affected by this virus, and many people were laid off due to the decline in the become spread and pressure. The Indonesian government at the time had to work hard to find effective ways to suppress the transmission of the virus, starting from the implementation of large social restriction. the implementation of restriction of community activities to enhance education from the government to obey the use of masks as on hand sanitizer, keep distance to break the chain of virus spread. In breaking the chain of distribution, this can not only be done by the government but also by the community. As we know that the chess we have passed, there were quite a large spike in the month before the chess finally reached the lowest is a positive cases in Indonesia. The role of society and government less affect this virus by strict undertaking to health protocol so that we can return to our life as we age to social with its partner without any fear of contingent of COVID-19. Thank you.
Thank you so much for Mr. Laurentius. That was an amazing speech. And your time for your speech is 2 minutes and 35 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Nelson from St. Joseph Senior High School, and he will drive the title about bad effects of promiscuity. Time is yours.
On this beautiful day, let us praise the presence of God Almighty for the grace and gifts that He has given so that we can all gather here in good health and well-being. On this night, let me deliver a short speech about promiscuity that we often encounter around us. In an era that is increasingly developing behavior and social problems that occur in society are increasingly diverse, especially adolescents problems. The development of technology today has more or less a bad influence that drags teenagers into promiscuity. Intercourse or juvenile delinquency cannot be spread from their relationship with their parents. In addition, the influence of the circle of friends is also a very decisive factor. Surely we have often heard complaints about the difficulty of finding solution to this problem. If a child falls into promiscuity, it will affect the child's education and learning achievement. Starting from declining children's learning achievement, lazy to study, denying what a parent say, skipping school, to not wanting to get an education. Health education is an important thing that must be prioritized because a good education will shape the character of children to be better, have character and have character. Moreover, the impact arises problems with the family, pregnancy out of wedlock, and venereal disease gets a bad stigma from the environment. Achievement in school declines. Another negative impact of promiscuity is the estrangement of the child's relationship with the family. In adolescence, children need recognition and attention and existence in the community and family. In this page, when a child falls into promiscuity, he will tend to be a dissident figure, disobey by his parents' orders. Even he become a different child from when he knew and raised him some time ago. It is important to make children aware that they and their family are ready to help when they're in trouble. Not only learning difficulties, but also accompanying and listening to his stories when he is feeling sad, angry, and bad things are happening in his life. With love, care, and good protection, it is hope that children will not look for for other people, let alone consider their family to be strangers who do not understand their feelings or desires. Be a friend as well as parent for your child so that he or she has a reliable figure. Maybe that's all I can convey this speech. I thank you very much.
Thank you so much for Mr. Nelson. That was an amazing speech. And your speech time is 4 minutes and 10 seconds. Now let's move to our next participant. We have Devanli Lesmana from St. Joseph Senior High School, and he will drive the topic about unique facts of the world of photography. Time is yours.
Unique facts of the world of photography. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Best wish may all of us always be in healthy condition and blessed by God Almighty. On this occasion, I will deliver a message that is very important for all of us. Today, I want to deliver my speech about unique facts of the world of photography. My purpose in delivering this speech is to explain some interesting facts that make some of you want to enter the world of photography. Photography is not just about pressing a button and turning it into a good photo. Photographic image manage to capture a moment in the form of still image but become portraits that speak. A photography expert, Elliot Erwitt, said that photography is an art of observation. This definition describes how photography can find something fun or interesting in an ordinary place. This is where the art of photography lies. Therefore, photography is not only about capturing image, but also arranging the object in it so that they can achieve new aesthetic values. Then these are the unique fact in the world of photographer because a moment is difficult to repeat, make more friends, and look for additional income. Photos can be part of a history. One thing that has meaning from the time travel. Photo can also be used as memory, can remind even of the past. Photography is unique and not everyone can produce photo as a work of art. Hobby of photography can be close to beautiful women or models because you want to capture something. Even though it is clear then even documentation is not internal because it can travel to interesting and beautiful place to hunt for photo object. Photography become a kind of entertainment to release tension and stress. Photography is an art. Photography can be used as a career because now there are many digital cameras, so it doesn't bother anymore like the era analog camera. Photography is a style. A photo or picture can tell a lot of things. People like photography usually start out enjoying the beauty of an image, then change to trying to capture the moment of a photo. That's all my speech today. I hope it can be useful for all of us. Thank you for attention. Good evening and thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your speech, Mr. Devan. That was an amazing speech. And your speech time is 3 minutes and 25 seconds. Now let's move to our last but not least participant. We have Miss Grace Cleveresia Indah Gunawan from St. Joseph Senior High School, and she will drive the topic about future goals. Time is yours.
So, good evening, everyone. First of all, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity that everyone has given to me. So I could be in this meeting to give a speech. So the title of my speech is Future Goals. Nowadays, many people give more concern about future goals. They could be children, teenagers, and adults. Future goals are things you put effort into achieving. It can be something big or small, long or short term, complex or easy. Take a baby as an example. Normally, a baby has a goal to grow up. It's a nature for a human to get old. It's a goal with no particular intention. Meanwhile, high school students have a goal to have better job to ensure their financial. This kind of goal is future goals. It requires more thought and planning, so it can be beneficial in a positive way. First of all, future goals provide clear plan. It is better if someone gives more attention for future goals. High school students cannot obtain dream job without good foresight. They should attend college first to get a degree for their dream job. It is really common for people to make efforts to get a proper job. Furthermore, future goals settle your dreams for the future. Usually, future goals can help people to keep moving forward for their future. It can help them to stay focused to achieve their dreams. Many high school students have decided their ideal future. It could be a doctor, a lawyer, a programmer, or many other professions out there. Future goals benefit them to keep struggling to achieve those dreams. Moreover, future goals can lead people to improve their skills. High school students that have settled their future goals are usually more expert in certain skills. They will join some clubs according to their future goals to improve specific skills. Socializing in group also can make connections for them. It can help them to build a working network. In conclusion, future goals can really help people, especially high school students, to achieve their dreams. It could make them to stay focused to fulfill their dreams. Some future goals even need extra abilities to support it. They are not easy to obtain. It needs big efforts and never-ending journey. Lastly, I will give a quote from Les Brown to close my speech. Shoot for the moon, even if you miss, you land among the stars. That's all about my speech. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for your speech, Miss Grace Cleveresia. I'm sorry, and your speech time is 3 minutes and 17 seconds. Now we are in the end of this meeting. Maybe Coach Mike will give some evaluation for us.
Yes, it will be a great pleasure to give you some feedback. Okay, everybody have a couple of deep breaths. We've had a great journey, 30 plus, I think, or 30, nearly 30 speakers in an hour, 2 hours. Really good quality in most of them. There is always something to improve, however. The things I'm going to do is sort of an overview for everybody. I'm not going to pick anybody out by name, so don't worry. You are safe. You can put your cameras back on and watch what's going on. Okay, so writing a speech and delivering a speech is a process. It's a formula. It's a recipe. You just need to follow the recipe and you will be successful. So there are things to look at during the preparation and the delivery of the speech. Writing the speech is something you want to do when you're quite relaxed. Give yourself time, give your brain time to think, maybe over several days. My recommendation is type up your speech in full, word for word. So type it up, have it on computer, so you can go back to the file a couple of days later, a week later, a year later even, and carry on developing that speech. Once you've written the project, you've written your speech, you have a text, you then need to go practice delivering it. So the process includes preparation of the text and then preparation on how to deliver the text. The first thing to do when you're practicing is to read your text many times. Yeah, don't be in a hurry. Read the text several times, 10, 20, 30 times. Just relax your brain, read through the text over again, could be 1 or 2 days, so that you understand the shape of the text. When I'm doing a speech, I have all of the text words printed there, but what I remember before I deliver is the physical shape, the picture of the speech. What's on paper? What does it look like? So I normally have my script in 18 font, so very big. I can read it without touching it when it's on the table in front of me. I can slide the pages around. Normally a 5 to 7 minute speech will only be 4 or 5 pages, even though it's spaced out with large font. I use spacing to highlight areas. Yeah, if you leave some white around something, it focuses your attention. Don't have a speech that is 30 lines of script, very small, very close together, no distinguishing marks. Yeah, play with the format. Yeah, play with the look of your speech. And then once you've done the reading, that replaces memorizing the speech. Never attempt to memorize the speech. It is disaster waiting to happen. Just do not do it. You do not need to do it for a 5 to 7 minute speech. You do not need to do that. As long as you know the shape of the speech, have bullet points maybe on a small piece of paper the size of a business card. And that's all you really need. You need one word to show you for each segment of your speech. The flow of the speech is really all you need. One word will open up 1,000 words in your brain because you've prepared the speech. You've read through the speech. You know all there is to know about your speech. But then you need to go and physically use your mouth to enunciate, to talk the speech, because there will be some words in there that you are not familiar with, maybe. So you need to know how to pronounce them efficiently without stumbling. You want to have a smooth performance. Yeah, you don't want stumbles. It looks obvious that you've made a mistake. So if you can smoothly go through your speech delivery, that's really, really good. So with no notes, no text, deliver the speech aloud to the goldfish, your dog, your cat, your mother, your siblings, you're the guy next door, the guy selling nasi goreng on the street in front of you. Anybody you can get to listen to your speech that understands English and what you're saying. So get used to speaking the speech, maybe 3, 4, 5 times, the more the merrier. And that way you are really well prepared. Preparation gets rid of nervousness. So being well prepared and coming to the forum, to the dais, to the platform, to the screen, yeah, will make you more relaxed, and that's really good. So delivery. One of the things today that keeps coming up, it's come up on every single evening where we've rehearsed speeches, is Humpty Dumpty appears. You know what I mean by Humpty Dumpty? This. All I can see, all you can see are the eyes. Maybe if you're lucky, the nose. This is crazy. This is so stupid. It's like standing there with your underpants on. Yeah, it makes you look really inferior. You have time at the beginning of the meeting. Yeah, before the meeting, you need to know what lighting to use for your Zoom meeting, where to put yourself, what does your background look like, what does your virtual background look like if you need one, have one. So present yourself as best as you can. Yeah, don't, I mean, I've seen, I mean, somebody, I think last week was speaking like this. Yeah, I mean, that you could see one ear,
and the
one eye. Yeah, I mean, you know, this is crazy. And the thing you've got to do is look at your picture, look at your screen. Yeah, what do you look like on screen? You know, if only the top of your head is showing, it shows. Yeah, so be prepared. Get ready for the performance. Lighting is really important. There was one today who when I looked up, I thought I was looking at the back of her head. The face was completely black. And, you know, black face, black hair, you can't see anything. So be careful, you know, that you show your face. First impression, yeah, is forever. You can only make a first impression one time. So when you're doing public speaking, you want to do the best you can when you're going on screen for the public. Yeah, so do a little bit of preparation. Make sure that you've got the lighting right, you know, that the seating is right. Yeah, you can move around. Obviously, in a real life situation, we would normally stand to deliver a speech. You can do that virtually as well. You just need to take the camera further away from you. Maybe you need somebody to be the cameraman or woman. Yeah, you may need some help, but you can do that. It looks professional. Yeah, when we sit down, as we are all normally doing when we're doing virtual meetings, it leads you into laziness. It's a bit slouchy. Yeah, it's not really that professional. It's good, you know, you can be good image on screen. So, you know, that's important. And background. Yeah, think of the background. If you're taking the video in a room and you're using the wall as the background, try and pick a part of the wall that doesn't have too many distractions. Yeah, so try and position yourself, bearing in mind lighting, yeah, etc. But try and put yourself in a position where the background is nice. Yeah, you don't want to have a busy background. You want people to focus on you when you're speaking. You don't want them to count the tiles on the wall behind you or the number of books and, oh, what books you got, you know, on the 5th shelf? Oh yeah, I've read that book. Yeah, you don't have too many distractions because people will seriously, they will look at the distraction and not you, and they won't listen to you. And that's crazy. I mean, you're there to deliver a speech. Yeah, so make sure that the background isn't a distraction. You use a virtual background, yeah, but again, you've got to try it out. Maybe that you don't get bleaching coming through, light bleaching. Yeah, make sure it's appropriate. But yeah, Indonesia is a famous country that nobody knows about. So I'm recommending people put the merah putih up, use the flag as a background, use some other touristic photo as a background. Make something that's a bit interesting, but without being too distractive. So background is important. There are occasions where it is appropriate to read on screen. Yeah, reading a text is appropriate sometimes, but you need to be able to read the text smoothly. Yeah, you need to know what the flow of the text is. You can't be reading a text that maybe you can't see very well. Make it big font, make sure you can read it easily, but make sure you know the words. Don't stumble in the text. That's why preparation, yeah, reading through in advance is so important. If there are any words you don't understand the meaning of, or you don't know how to pronounce them properly, yeah, ask. Go Google. You know, there's always a voice over option somewhere where you can get help, but ask a friend. You know, is it pronounced this way or that way? And there is difference in pronunciation around the world in English. Yeah, I mean, the Brits pronounce things in one way in the south of England. In the east of London, there's Cockney. In Scotland, it's totally different language with a very heavy accent up in the north of England. So even in one country, the variation is quite large. And then you go to another country. Yeah, you go to America, they have the same words, different meaning. Yeah, in America. So be careful on the words you use. In Singapore, just down the road from us, they speak Singlish. Yeah, it has a Singapore lingo to the English, yeah, which is distinguishable. So yeah, be aware of the vocabulary, the pronunciation. So when you're reading, yeah, make sure you read well. Make sure you read well. You need to practice reading, not just think, oh, yeah, it's all written, I can read it out aloud. You cannot. You need to practice that. However, when you are delivering a speech, it is just that. You are delivering a speech. You are not delivering a text. You're not delivering a reading. Yeah, so a speech really wants to be more natural, maybe sort of conversational. So you want to be able to talk to the audience, have dialogue with the audience. You don't want to just read a speech to them. I mean, they could have done that themselves. You didn't need to come here. You could have sent them the script and say, hey, go read this. Yeah, but when you're delivering a speech, you put your emotion into it. It has meaning, extra meaning to you. This topic you chose has meaning. Share that meaning with the audience. Yeah, make it come out as a living speech, not just a written, read speech. Yeah, that is just run of the mill. Yeah, so that's really important. And when you're delivering, you want to be as natural as possible. Yeah, so don't run through the speech so fast. And that's one of the problems with reading a speech. People have a tendency very often reading a speech to start fast and get faster. They go through the speech, so they don't breathe. The speech is just until the end, yeah? It looks as if they're in a race to get finished and go home. And that's not a message you want to give the audience, yeah? You want to give the audience a message that, hey, I'm here, I lived through this experience. I really would love to share it with you. So listen to me, yeah? Listen to me. So having a natural delivery is really important. Right at the beginning of your speech, you want an attention grabber. You need something that pulls the audience to you and make them want to listen to what you have to say. So during the speech delivery, you need to keep that attention grabber going. Yeah, you need to be attractive. It needs to sound nice when you're talking. Yeah, it wants to be varied when you talk. So a little bit of, body language is good. Yeah, don't be, crazy, but, a little bit of motion is fine. And maybe even just turn, your position, just be flexible. And that's what would normally happen when you were standing. You would move your position during the speech. So we're used to that. But natural delivery is important, yeah? Make it smooth, make it a smooth transition. That sounds so professional. It sounds so good. That is really important. And then the other part of a speech that's really important is the evaluation after the speech. Get somebody to listen to the speech as you're delivering it and give you feedback, private feedback, honest feedback, negative feedback. You need to know the warts of your speech, not just the good things, yeah? Anybody can give a good presentation dead easy. Giving a subtly nuanced evaluation, getting people to really understand what they could have done and could do in the future that will make this even better. Every speech anybody gives, you can always improve next time. Doesn't matter how long you've been speaking for. You can always improve. Yeah, you can always improve. So get feedback. And that's really, really important. And then you can incorporate that in your speech. So for the future, yeah, it will be a better speech. These speeches you're giving today, World Speech Day has been and gone for 2022. However, these speeches, you've done a lot of work preparing the text. Don't bin it. Keep it for next year. You'll be halfway there already, you know, at the time when we start practicing for 2023. So keep the speech on file on your computer. Add the feedback you've got, you know, from what your feedback, the feedback you've given it, because you obviously, you know how your speech went down today. Were you happy with it? What would you like to do next time to improve it? Ask your friends who watched it, watch the video of the recording if you can afterwards, and look at how you personally did. Yeah, and then build that into your speech and file it away for another time. Yeah, so speeches are a living creature. Yeah, they don't die at the end of the time when you were going to deliver. Yeah, you can use this speech as a basis for a future speech. So you've done a lot of the work already. Update it in 1, 2, 3, 5 years time, and it will be a good speech. So public speaking is really a learn by doing activity. The more opportunities you take to actually deliver a speech, any speech, will help you become a good speaker. Yeah, this doesn't come by reading. It certainly doesn't come by imagining you're delivering a good speech. Yeah, you need to physically prepare the speech. It will take you hours for 5-10 minute speech. Practice that. Deliver that speech. Use the feedback from others and yourself, because you know how you did as well as anybody else. Yeah, and then build that up for next time. So other things to really look at during a speech, eye contact. Yeah, you need to look at the camera. The camera normally in the wrong place. Yeah, I'm looking at your faces, so I'm looking down. You're looking at the top of my head probably, but I need now and again to look at the camera. Get eye contact. We feel attached to the speaker who is looking at us. We like to be looked at, even in physical speaking events. Yeah, we like to have audience, eye contact. In a large room, Zorro is there. So in a large room, you look across the top of the room, through the middle, like a Z, and then across at the bottom. And that way, everybody in that room thinks you've looked at them. You haven't. You've just looked in your eyes, your head is moving in that direction, yeah? The direction of a Z. So, you know, that gives the eye contact. Natural flow, I've mentioned. Yeah, it's so beautiful to listen to a speaker who is giving a natural speech. The flow is nice. It's at a good pace, not too fast, not too slow, gives us enough time to think, has enough pregnant pauses in there. Pregnant pauses are really good for highlighting something you want people to remember. But it also gives the brain time to think. Yeah, when you're listening to a speech for 30 minutes and it goes like the clappers from beginning to end, you end at the end mentally tired. Yeah, the brain needs a little bit of rest every now and again. Yeah, so put that into your speech. Don't just be in a hurry to finish so fast. And have attractive visuals, like, get the whole of your face in the middle of the screen. Get good lighting, both sides, yeah, of your face, so that people can see you. And also check the audio. Audio is also very important. I mean, we're living in a technological world where we cannot get internet bandwidth correct. Yeah, we are normally struggling against that technology, but make it better by having your microphone set up properly in the right place. Yeah, get the audio right. Because so often, the speech is really good, the delivery is not, and the audio is appalling. And what happens when you can't hear the audio really well? You give up listening. If it's too difficult, you as the audience, you think, oh, he couldn't be bothered to get his audio right. I can't be bothered to listen. Yeah, I listened to the first 2 minutes. Now I've got a headache. Yeah, so take all of the problems away. Let the audience have a really good performance. Yeah, and learn from you. Learn what you want to share with them. Thank you so much. And the other thing is time. Don't take too long like I did. But
yeah,
being succinct is important. Yeah. But again, I mean, the other criticism that appears today is, I think you had like 3 to 5 minutes allowed, and there were some that were under 2 minutes. A lot were in 2 minutes to 2 minutes 30. Yeah, half the time allowed. When you get the opportunity to talk to an audience, that is sacred. Use every second of that speech. And the other reason for doing a speech on computer is you can use word count. Word count for me is so important. You need to know how many words a minute you speak. So that if you have a 5-minute speech and you speak at 100 words a minute, 500 words is what you need. People in general, individual people, same person, will speak at different speeds on different occasions. So you need to know what the variety is. Yeah, are you talking to one person in a room, an audience on a workshop that's 300? Yeah, your speech timing will be different. But know what your timing is, count the words, and then you know roughly how long your speech is going to take. You don't prepare a speech that's only half the time. Yeah, so get into that habit of timing your speech, counting the words, working out your speed. Thank you. I will really shut up now. So thank you for this opportunity. But it's so exciting, seriously, yeah, to be able to give you that feedback. Because I've been doing this for a long time. I can see things easily, and you will not know what to look for. So it's good to take feedback from anywhere. And as I say, this is learning by doing. You've got to do the preparation work, and you've got to do the physical delivery. And then you will be doing a great speech in the future. And speaking in public is so, so important, so valuable to you in your career and in your future job progress. Yeah, so important. I really will keep quiet now.
No, it's okay, Coach Mike. Yeah, because I also agree with you that most of them, we sense like they only read a text, and then without the vocabulary, only in hurry to finish the text. But yeah, that's right. They have to.
It's not a hurry. Yeah, it's not a race. This is not a race, yeah. And I mean, the World Speech Day bus has moved already. So, you know, you get ready. I mean, seriously, start now. Yeah, start now. Prepare a speech, continue the speech you've just done and get it ready for next year. Yeah, we'll try and get Simon to tell us what the theme is for next year early, yeah, in case there's a change. So, you know, I mean, we've not really looked at the theme of the meeting, of the World Speech Day meeting. Yeah, but you can tailor your speech to the theme of the meeting, yeah, of the World Speech Day event. Yeah, so anyway, you know, these are good things. Yeah, I mean, this is, again, this is a hobby. Yeah, don't treat this as work. It's not work. This is fun. Believe me, it's fun. When you get over the initial hurdle, it is real fun. You will enjoy what you're doing. Yeah, but get over that hurdle. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Coach. It's okay, only 3 of us. But I already still recording this because I want to share
that.
in the
Sure.
YouTube channel, and then they can learn, they can get the point after the performance before. Okay, thank you once. And then next week that will be the last
one. Okay.
last
Yeah.
session.
No, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. No, I
Because,
just wasn't sure. I thought, well, World
we
Speech
have
Day finished, but what are they doing? But no, this is good.
267 participants.
Yeah. No, it's really good. I think the more the merrier, really. The more the merrier. Yeah. And I mean, next year, you know, maybe you have recorded people and you start at 6 in the morning or something. You know, I mean, you can do a long stretch. Yeah. I mean, it
If we
doesn't have
can
to be
offline, if we can offline, we can prepare it more.
Yeah, you can do both. Yeah, you can have a live. Yeah. I mean, if you've got more people that want to participate, some people will probably be unable to appear at the time of the recording. Not the recording, of the performance. Yeah. So I mean, work. You know, be flexible. But I mean, this is great. Yeah. And I mean, I love that this has gone for 2 days. Yeah, this could go for a week in the future. There is so much. I mean, I haven't looked at a lot of the other countries' performances yet. There is just so much out there. Yeah, so much out there. And I want to go and look at the recordings of other venues, the other countries, because they have done some really good things. Yeah, so again, you know, this is something where I think Simon, in a way, needs to package it in a better way, so to speak. So it's easier for the public, so to speak, to come in and find what's going on. Yeah, I mean, here at the moment, it's a little bit higgledy-piggledy. You know, there's a bit here, there's a bit there, there's a bit there, this is coming in. Yeah, so we need in advance, really, an agenda on what country, what time, what
that would be good.
What Zoom codes,
Yes.
so that people can look at the agenda, the program, and say, okay, I want to do that, I want to do that, I want to do this. And you know, if we can provide a longer session, and some of it could be recorded, that would be good. Doing it on more than 1 day is nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's a bit of a misnomer. World Speech Day, I mean, it's 3 days. But there's a lot of stuff out there. I mean, it's too much to watch, to be honest. I mean, because everybody's busy. I mean, everybody was, I mean, I don't know, there's like 100 countries involved. I mean, to pick up every single country, you know, it will take you a fortnight, probably 2 weeks or longer to watch all the videos. But again, some of them are only an hour or 2 long. But anyway, no, it's good. I think it's fantastic. And it's good to get all of the people involved and motivated. And you know, it gives them a target, doesn't it? You can produce a speech for the event. And I think the thing really, in a way, is, I know it's very labor intensive, but start the preparation much earlier. Like 3 months before. Not the month or 2 before. Do it earlier, so that people have more time to think what they're doing, develop their speech content, and then have more time to physically practice it. I think here we're giving them 1 shot at a performance, and then they get a minimal amount of feedback, but they don't really get any opportunity to redo it. at the moment. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, all of the people, you know, all of the Humpty Dumptys. I mean, that is so easy to fix. So easy. They just need to sign in, look at the camera, and what do they see on the screen? If it's the top of their head, hey, move the angle. Yeah, it's so easy. But you know, we don't do it because they're too much of a hurry to get their script written and out of the door. Yeah.
Yes.
But they should enjoy it. They should savor this. This is good experience. This is good fun. So they will enjoy it. They will enjoy it. I do.
Oh.
Anyway, go home. Go home. Have you got
Delika,
exam
go home.
invigilation tomorrow?
Yeah, okay, thank you very much. Delika, do you want to say something, Delika?
Delika,
Del?
you did a great job.
Are you
Delika,
sleeping?
you did a great job. No, he's already working on a speech for next year. Delika, are you there still?
I don't know.
No, he's already
I'm here,
eating.
coach. I'm here, coach.
You're still here. You're still here.
Yeah, I'm still here.
Good. No, I'm just saying you did a really good job. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much, coach.
It was good. It's hard work, yeah? Two
Yeah.
hours, you know, one after another, you can't rest. So yeah, it's good.
Thank you so much, coach.
It's good. Good again, good practice for you. You know, being an MC is a task always in great demand. Yeah,
Thank you,
people do this as a business. You know, they do it as a money-making venture. Anyway, no, it's well done. Thank you so much. Thank you, Anna. See you possibly in Makassar on Thursday. I will put together a list of the clubs that are meeting and you know, the times, etc., so people can choose if and when they want to come. Yeah. Anyway.
Yes. Next Thursday, I would like to share the link meeting to you.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe they
So
want
that'd
to
be good.
participate.
Yeah. Yeah. So that.